Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited as we are here on the 6th of November 2020 to talk about everything that went down tonight on Friday Night Smackdown. I thought tonight's show was a okay show. Didn't think it was that great. Also don't need these headphones on anymore. But I didn't think the show was that great, to be honest. Thought it could have been better. But as far as the show goes, I thought it accomplished a number of things. We had the title match. We got Sasha's next challenger. We built towards Survivor Series. And, well, more Roman and Jay Uso. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here tonight. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you're here live on Twitch, you can support us and help us out a couple of different ways. You can either give us a donation by hitting that button down below. You can give us some Twitch bits. Or you can subscribe either with a tiered subscription or with Amazon Prime. Because if you, ladies and gentlemen, have Amazon Prime, not only can you watch the second most streamed movie of all of 2020, Borat 2, whatever that subsequential name is of it, you can also subscribe to us here at PW Unlimited for no extra charge, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming, and you get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to support, absolutely free. No, well, not absolutely free. You're paying Amazon $12 for no extra charge to you. So with that, guys, we'd greatly appreciate it if you supported us here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also remember, be part of tonight's show by texting your thoughts into 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. But with that, let's do our poll real fast. What did you think of tonight's Smackdown? I liked it. It was alright. I didn't like it. Let's see what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. We will start that poll now. Pop that over there. Once the poll subsides, we'll let you guys know. But let's jump right into it. Talk about some Friday Night Smackdown. So the show immediately kicks off with the women's title match. Michael Cole says, "Welcome to SmackDown," and then we hear Sasha Banks makes her way out to the ring. Sasha comes out first. Bayley comes out second. Usually the champ is the one that comes out second. Shaka there. Anyways, before Bayley would come out, she was interviewed by Kayla Braxton. She pointed out that she signed the contract under duress and that Banks has never successfully defended a title in WWE. Then they did the special ring intros. Banks and Bayley had a good fast-paced start here. Banks backed Bayley into the corner early after locking up. Banks had the early advantage with an arm drag using the top rope. And we saw Sasha in this match use a lot more, I guess you could call them, lucha moves than normal. And that actually comes from Sasha Banks going down to Mexico and actually doing some training. She went down to Mexico multiple times recently, I was told, and she trained with Tessa Blanchard, Daga, Kalisto, and some others that Tessa and Daga are always training with. So that was really cool to find out, hear about, and see her implement here tonight. So after commercial break, Banks slid under the bottom ropes and dropped Bayley face first onto the apron. She followed this up with a double knee to the face for a near fall. Banks then hit double knees on the apron against the post. And then in a cool spot, Banks attempted to move again, but Bayley, under her feet, used her feet to lift her into the air and drop her just face first. Banks just right on the floor. Just crashed right on the floor from the apron. But not just from the apron. She flung up about 2 feet and then crashed down. Going forward, Bayley took over and used a slingshot under the bottom rope for a near fall. Bayley slowed the pace down with a chin lock. At one point, Banks would recover and hit a Meteora off the middle ropes. Bayley rolled to the floor, but Banks took out Bayley with a massive flying crossbody. After another commercial break, Banks and Bayley fought on the ring post. Bayley slid out and attempted a powerbomb on the floor. Bayley countered with a Hurricane Rana into the announce table. Banks made a comeback and hit a running knee in the corner. She then ran up the steps and hit an elbow on Bayley on the apron. Banks followed this with a frog splash for a close near fall. Banks then hit a backstabber, but Bayley rolled through and attempted a Bayley to belly. Banks slipped out and went for the Banks statement, but Bayley fought back. My notes just froze. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Bayley hit an elbow off the top rope at one point and got a near fall off. Well, no, actually, I skipped a spot. Go back. So Bayley at one point gets a kendo stick. Referee sees it, grabs it, throws it out of the ring. As the referee is distracted, Bayley brought in a steel chair. Banks would kick the chair out of Bayley's hand and hit a Bayley to belly to Bayley for a very close near fall. Bayley then hit an elbow off the top for a near fall of her own. No, Bayley hit the Bayley to belly, not Sasha. My bad. Bayley then locked in the Banks statement, but Banks made it to the ropes to break the hold. While they're on the apron, Bayley charged at Banks, but Banks moved, and Bayley crashed into the ring post. Banks then locked on the Banks statement and picked up the victory to win the match. Sasha Banks retains the championship here tonight. Sasha beats Bayley. I don't know what's next for Bayley. That's the big question now. Where does Bayley go from here? Bayley was an amazing champion. And now what? Now what? I mean, you can't be the champ forever. You learned that with Asuka. But after the match, Sasha's tired. She's winded. She's jubilated that she won the title. She's just happy to be done with this. She gets to the top of the ramp, holding the belt up high over her head, turns around and takes a pretty great super kick from Carmella. Like, that was one of the better super kicks I've seen in a while. Carmella then grabs her and hits her with an X Factor right there on the stage. She just crashes face first down. Carmella then poses over her for a moment before we cut to the back. So Carmella is going to be the next challenger to Sasha Banks in the Women's Championship. In the back, Jay Uso was getting some coffee when Kevin Owens approached him. They said something about Jay Uso was going to do an interview coming up with Kayla Braxton. They called it an exclusive interview. But nonetheless, Owens started kind of making jokes, saying that, oh, you joined the family and Roman's just using you to get his coffee now. Owens also joked that maybe he should get Paul Heyman some coffee as well. Uso got in Owens' face and asked if he thinks this family is nothing more than a joke. Owens says he doesn't think anything of this and doesn't think it's a joke. They just wanted to talk to Uso since they're going to be partners coming up at Survivor Series. Next up, Michael Cole and Corey Graves discussed The Undertaker's final farewell at Survivor Series and noted that Undertaker would be at the pay-per-view. But what does final farewell really mean? Does this mean it's the last time we're ever going to see The Undertaker on a WWE event? Or, here's my other prediction. Is this the last time we ever see The Undertaker, and from now on in WWE, he's just going to be Mark Calloway? I hope that don't happen. So Kayla Braxton next up interviewed Jay Uso in the little ring they have in the back for interviews. They recap the angle between Uso and Reigns, including Uso attacking Daniel Bryan after his match last week. Braxton asked Uso to explain his actions. Uso noted he did what he has to do. Braxton pointed out that if Uso has to do what Reigns tells him to do. Uso didn't really appreciate that comment. Paul Heyman would then approach and was furious because Reigns, he didn't approve this interview. Heyman informed Uso that Reigns needs to talk to him. Braxton then pointed out that maybe Paul Heyman actually has a higher and better spot in the family than Jey Uso actually does. And Uso really, Jey did not like that comment at all. As we stay in the back, Rey Mysterio was on his phone. Apparently he was trying to find his daughter Aaliyah. Dominic approached and goes, "Whoa, Dad, what are you doing? You've got a match up next against King Corbin. Why are you not ready?" He's like, "Have you seen your sister?" And Dominic's like, "No, you need to get ready for your match." And Ray's like, Here you go. You know where my gear is. Go get me my gear. I'm going to try calling your sister again. And as Dominic runs off, Corbin then attacks Rey. He basically shoves Rey into a bunch of production boxes and whatnot. And, well, match is next. So after commercial break, we don't go straight to this match. While Heyman and Jay Uso talked in front of Roman Reigns' locker room, Heyman explained Uso needs Reigns' permission to do interviews. Uso didn't understand why he couldn't just do the interview, though. Heyman then went and got Reigns. Reigns was furious, and Uso agreed. Uso agreed to do the interview and explained that he couldn't do that anymore. He was also upset about his interaction with Kevin Owens. Uso said that Owens was joking around, but Reigns didn't care. So basically, Roman Reigns is Vince McMahon. Nobody that works for me, nobody that's under me can do anything that I don't say they can. You want to do an interview, you got to get it approved by me. You want to talk to somebody, you got to get it approved by Roman Reigns. So, is this a slight knock on Vince per se? And the whole Twitch thing? No one can do anything I don't approve and say they can do. If I say you can't do it, you can't do it because I control you. I doubt WWE would do something like that, but just saying. I thought this was a really good segment, and it established that, hey, you don't listen to Roman gonna be pissed. We go to the ring for a Survivor Series qualifier. It was King Corbin versus Rey Mysterio. Michael and Corey Graves mostly talked about Mysterio's family issues and Aaliyah's relationship with Murphy. They didn't even care about this match for the most part. Rey came out limping and selling his quote-unquote injuries after being attacked by Corbin. He competed in street clothes because, well, he didn't have enough time to change. Corbin attacked Mysterio as the bell rang to get control. Corbin hit a huge spine buster really early and got a near fall off of it. Corbin dominated most of this match, but Mysterio did make a comeback at one point and even rolled up Corbin for a near fall. All of a sudden, the music of Seth Rollins would hit. Rollins would walk out onto the ramp, but really didn't do anything as we went to commercial break. Mysterio then hit a splash after the break. Corbin shoved Mysterio into the corner. But Mysterio fought back with some kicks. Mysterio attempted a springboard, but Corbin caught him and hit him with a backbreaker for a near fall. Mysterio attempted a crossbody. Corbin caught him again and hit the world's strongest slam for another near fall. At one point, Mysterio made another comeback, and the pace quickened. He made a furious comeback and scored a close near fall on Corbin. Mysterio avoided an end of days and went for a 619, but Corbin, before that 619, got out of the ring. So they're fighting on the floor here when Corbin attacks Dominic. Mysterio went after Corbin and hit a drop kick. Mysterio sent Corbin back into the ring and hit a 619, but Rollins attacked Dominic at ringside, which Rey did not like to see. Rey then left the ring and made the save for his son. We then see Murphy and Aaliyah make their way out to ringside. Mysterio told them to leave and go to the back. Mysterio went back into the ring and walked right into an end of days from Corbin. Got pinned. 1, 2, 3. Boom. You lose. Corbin is now on Team Smackdown. After this, they then announced that Jay Uso will be taking on Kevin Owens later tonight. And I'm gonna what's the word I'm looking for? Repeat myself. Said this on Monday. Why are Survivor Series teammates fighting? I get it. You may not like each other. You may not be friends before all of this or at all even now. But you need to get along and start to work as a team now. Before Survivor Series, not fight each other. Doofuses. Just doofuses. Next up, we got another qualifying match for Survivor Series, this time on the women's side of things. And I was like, what? Natty's just getting another shot? But we learned that Natty's nothing more than a goof, a geek, and a, well, dummy. This match saw Ruby Riott with a new haircut. She had her little short hair, Heidi Lovelace haircut. Also saw Zelina Vega in this match as well. At one point, Natalya locked on a surfboard on Riot, but Vega slipped in and scored a near fall on Natty. Natty attempted a sharpshooter on Riot, and Vega broke it up with a bulldog. Vega then hit a Hurricane Rana on Riot, spiking her face first into the mat. Natalya briefly went back and forth on each woman, and then, the finish came when Natalya locked on a sharpshooter on Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega tried to get to the ropes, but in a triple threat, there's no rope break. So I believe Zelina was, even though the announcers were trying to say, she's trying to get to the ropes and that won't matter. I believe she was going to try and, because she's like grabbed to the apron. So I thought maybe she was going to try and slide out of the ring. That's not what happened either. Natty pulled her back into the middle of the ring. Ruby ran in, put her in some sort of an arm wringer type deal. And then Natty just lets go. And as Natty lets go, she stands up off the sharpshooter, and then we hear, because Zelina tapped. Ruby ends up winning because Zelina tapped, but Ruby was the only one with the submission still in. So I believe if Natty wouldn't have let go, Natty would have maybe been declared the winner since she had the submission in first. Maybe? I don't know how that would have worked. That's just what I'm guessing would have happened. But we learned Natty can't win a match, and Natty's a goober. Idiot, dummy. Why let go of the submission and not immediately, like within a nanosecond, go after that other person with a submission in? Why didn't she, as she was stepping out of that sharpshooter, her leg comes up out of the sharpshooter, steps around, pop, kick Ruby right in the back of the head or spine or something like that? Stupid. Just stupid. Like, who's ever going to get into the Natty character? Like, who's ever going to care about Natty? They've been using Natty so bad recently, possibly over the last year. Why should we care about Natty? And I'm going to look something up. Neidhart. When was the last time Natty actually got a significant victory? I'm going to look this up. Nope. Natty's last win, and this doesn't even technically count in my books as a significant win, was in August. On August 13th, she beat Mickie James by count out. And then you have to go all the way back to June, when she got her last win before that, where she beat Liv Morgan in a 2-minute match. And between those matches in August and June, she didn't even work a match. And if we look in all of 2020, in 2020 alone, Natty only has 1, 2, 3. Wow. Natty's worked 26 matches this year. He has 3 victories, ladies and gentlemen. 3. In 2020, Natty has only won 3 matches. One of those was a 5-minute match against Aaliyah on Main Event. Oy vey. Oy vey indeed. With that going forward, we do have our poll here. What did you guys think of tonight's SmackDown? 79% of you said that SmackDown was just all right. 21% of you said I didn't like SmackDown. And 0% of you liked it. Oh, man, that's not good. Let's go back to SmackDown here. Big E's in the back, playing some board game. Enlighten me, people. What board game was this he was playing? Because I didn't recognize it. Let me know in the live chat or in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. What board game was Big E playing here? Because I don't know what it is. Also, let me fix my camera a little bit. I'm a little out of focus. Like I have no clue what game he was playing here. But he was just a guy that thought he was funny. A guy with no plan. So Big E's playing a board game backstage or whatever, and he gets all hyped up because he won, I guess. They noted Street Profits would then approach and noted that they took over the championships lounge from Cesaro and Nakamura. They told Big E that he can come hang with them. They just need some of that inside information. Cincinnati says, look like Monopoly. Don't think so. Dan the Man says, Trivia Pursuit. I believe you're right. Let me look something up really fast. Trivia Pursuit. Look up the board for Trivia Pursuit. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Thank you, Dan the Man. Playing Trivia Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit, I think. No, is it Trivia or Trivial? Trivial Pursuit. Trivial with an L. That's their plan. Good eye there. I've actually never played Trivia Pursuit before on a board game. Played it on the PlayStation, but never played it the actual board game itself. So I wouldn't have known that. Anyways, Street Profits were looking for a little inside info on how to beat the New Day. Big E goes, I got you. Come in really close. I'm gonna give you the surprise. Give you the scoop. You go to Survivor Series, just lay down. Just lay down, take your loss. That way, Kofi and Woods don't have to beat your ass. Basically what he said. Well, some Billie Kay would approach. She's got a headshot and her resume on the back. And she goes, I hear you're looking for some inside scoop on the Raw brand, the Red brand. Well, if you look here on my resume, I used to be on the Red brand. And they literally go, yo, Billie, we were on the Red brand. We were on Raw at the same time. Give her headshot back and they say, thanks, but no thanks. And she goes, oh, okay then. Like, Billie Kay can be funny. Like, very funny at times. Great comedic timing. But they just don't use her right, I don't think. Next up, we had another qualifying match for Survivor Series. This match saw Seth Rollins taking on Otis. They recapped the Murphy, Aaliyah stuff with the Mysterios and Seth and all that before this match started. Seth had the early advantage, but Otis overpowered him. Otis threw Rollins into the corner and then slammed him down. Murphy would show up and walk slowly down to ringside. Otis was firmly in control and sent Rollins to the floor. Murphy stared at Rollins but really didn't do anything, and this allowed Otis to tackle Rollins because Rollins wasn't sure what Murphy was going to do out here. Was Murphy out here to help Seth? Was Murphy out here to screw Seth? So, Otis looked at Murphy at one point, and then Rollins took over. It's like, he didn't distract Otis earlier. What did he do differently? Nothing. Like, really, he just stood there the whole time like this. Until he got involved, that was. Rollins, like I said, briefly took over, but Otis fired up. He knocked down Rollins and slammed him to the mat. Otis hit a fall-away slam and a splash in the corner. Otis then set it for the caterpillar, but Murphy jumped up on the apron. Otis went after Murphy, who caused a distraction. Rollins then hit the curb stomp and beat Otis to pick up the victory. And also, what's with Otis's new nickname? Have I missed something here? Or is this the first week they've called him Otis, Mr. Bad Luck? Or Mr. Hard Luck, I mean. Like Cole said it 3 times tonight. Otis is Mr. Hard Luck. Who the fuck came up with that dumb shit? So, Rollins joins the Smackdown team for Survivor Series. And we go to break. When we come back, Murphy's walking through the back and Rollins approaches him from behind. Rollins was happy that Murphy helped him, but wanted to know why. Murphy then said, Saya, disciple. Rollins was beside himself, happy that Murphy had seen the light. Rollins left, and Aaliyah ran in. She was pissed. She runs in, shoves Murphy. I went to my family. I supported you. I told them they should believe in you. You're not like this, blah, 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 blah. She's yelling at him. He's like, whoa. Calm down. I just need you to trust me, is what Murphy told Aaliyah. So here's the big $1 million question. Who's Murph going to screw over? The Mysterios? Seth Rollins. which side is Murphy really on? But here's the other thing with Murphy. Why are we supposed to care about Murphy? When WWE did the draft, Murphy wasn't even drafted on the show. You had to watch Talking Smack to find out that Murphy was drafted to Smackdown. They didn't even care enough about Murphy to say, hey, we're going to draft him during SmackDown. No, it was, oh, you'll find out tomorrow morning where Murphy's going to be. So why should we even care about Murphy if they don't freaking care about Murphy or care to treat him as somebody prominent? You know what I mean? Just saying. Going forward, get another Lars Sullivan interview. Last week it was with Corey Graves. I believe this week was with Michael Cole. Basically, I killed any semblance of Lars being a monster here because, I can't take this guy serious. Sullivan talked about hating bullies. All the kids used to mock him and laugh at him. Instead of 13, he started lifting weights. And within 18 months, gained a lot of muscle, was able to bully the bullies. He said he even bullied the other kids that would just watch as the bullies would bully him and not do anything about it. Sullivan then said that he learned that he could bully, well, whoever he wants. He can make them do and eat whatever he wants. Sullivan could make kids eat dirt, grass, or even bugs. He can do whatever he wants, and Sullivan screamed and laughed. That's dumb. If you're trying to get him over as a scary monster, you ain't doing it. Ain't doing it. I mean, they should have went full Heidenreich with this guy and had him attack Michael Cole and put him up against the wall and then recite a poem. I mean, fuck. That was better than this. I was there that night in Fresno when Heidenreich did that, actually. So we then go to our main event. It was Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. Again, why are Survivor Series teammates fighting each other? Why? Because Roman said he had to? Bullshit. So in the back before the interview, before the match, Caleb Braxton interviews Kevin Owens. And I go, fuck, is Owens ever going to stop talking here? He went on and on and on and on and on. Owens noted that he speaks his mind, and it's kind of a bad habit of his. He said things got out of hand with Jey Uso and noted that their teammates at Survivor Series. He is upset about what Roman Reigns is forcing Jey to do and what he did to Daniel Bryan last week. Owens came out for his match, and this was just a different Jey Uso. Owens did have the early advantage and did score a near fall early with a senton. Uso attempted a suicide dive, but Owens cut him off. Uso fought back and tried the suicide dive again, but Owens caught him. We then see in the back that Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman were watching the match. Reigns didn't like what he was seeing because, well, Owens had a slight advantage. So, well, he sent Heyman to ringside to get a better look. After a commercial break, Jey was firmly in control as he stomped Owens in the corner. Owens fought back and climbed to the top turnbuckle. Heyman would make his way down to the ring, which did distract Kevin Owens. Uso then rocked Owens with a kick and followed up with a dive. Uso continued beating down Owens and slowed the pace with a chinlock. Owens broke free and rocked Uso with a nice super kick. Uso would miss a splash in the corner and Owens hit another super kick. Owens would follow this up with a cannonball in the corner and a swanton for a near fall. Owens then went to go for the pop-up powerbomb, but Uso countered it with a super kick of his own for a near fall. Uso climbed to the top rope, but Owens cut him off. Owens fought back and hit a pop-up powerbomb, but Uso got his feet on the ropes right at the last second to break the count. Suddenly, the music of Roman Reigns would hit, which distracted Kevin Owens. This allowed Jey Uso, while on his knees, to hit a low blow to Kevin Owens and then a super kick. The finish of the match then saw Jey Uso hit the splash off the top rope and pick up the victory, defeating Kevin Owens. After the match, Reigns made his way out onto the ramp as Uso and Paul Heyman walked up the ramp towards Roman. And Uso just stood there with Roman like, hey, following in line, doing what you say, Us. But with that, that was Friday Night Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. That was tonight's show. That the show itself was pretty good. Not great or anything. If I had to rate it, probably give it a 7. I know that Vince was really expecting the show to get cut early. I was told earlier today that Vince basically was under the impression that Biden was probably going to do something, or there's going to be something with the election, and that Fox would have to cut in the feed. Didn't happen, fortunately, so we'll see what goes on with the presidential election going forward. I mean, we pretty much know who won. Anyways, now I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. Remember, you can be part of the show by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. First message here to state, what do you see Bayley doing now that she lost the title in her rematch? I have absolutely no idea what they do with Bayley next, which is very... They've used Bayley so strongly, so well, so perfectly over the last year. It's just like, crap. What now? What now do you do with this woman that can't challenge for the title? In a company that, if you're not challenging for the title, in the women's division that is, you're almost an afterthought. That's just the bad thing about WWE. Vince McMahon only focuses on one woman's feud at a time. Technically, or on either brand. Technically 2, depending on whatever brand the tag champs are on, but they don't even really get a feud either. Basically, whoever's feuding with the Raw Women's Champion, whoever's feuding with the SmackDown Women's Champion. Other than that, you may randomly get a match here or there on TV. So it's like, I don't know what they do with Bayley next. I honestly don't. This person says, could you see Bianca Belair becoming the sole survivor at Survivor Series just to up her stakes? Up her stakes? Up her stakes and build her as a top woman on SmackDown. I mean, if any woman right now would benefit the most from winning at Survivor Series, and we're going with the assumption that it's going to actually mean something this year, then yes, I think Bianca Belair should either be the sole survivor or one of the winners for Team SmackDown. So I think Team SmackDown needs to win at Survivor Series for the women. So that way, at least Bianca Belair gets a good little rub there. And I think she should be the one that gets that final pin. Broken King Slender in the chat says Bayley on Team SmackDown. I mean, why not? It's not going to hurt anything. SmackDown's in what, 2 weeks? And then they go from there. The big question is, what do they do with Bayley after Survivor Series? The Survivor Series is a wash. I said it earlier on our website, pwunlimited.co. Right now, everything's building a Survivor Series. Raw versus SmackDown. But at least on Raw with Randy Orton, they're building up post-Survivor Series. With The Fiend, McIntyre, and The Miz all in play as far as challengers for Randy. But as far as everybody else goes, they're really not building anything post-Survivor Series. Looking at this last text message, if it will load. Come on. Have you heard anything further on Finn Balor and his jaw injury? When is he expected to return? I honestly haven't heard anything on Finn Balor. I have no clue how long he's going to be out of action. He did get some screws and metal deals put into his mouth. So the jaw injury was way worse than they tried to tell us. I'll just say that. That's what I was told. It was way worse than they told us. Because they didn't want us to think that, oh crap, the world champ is again hurt. Karrion Kross won the title, hurt. Finn won the title. Finn did it once, like 2 weeks after winning it, hurt. So not a good look there in NXT. Oh, got one more text message coming through. Let this one load. What is next for Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship? Oh, well, we put up a post today on our website, pwunlimited.co. This comes by way of Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He does state that the next challenger for Roman Reigns is most likely going to be Daniel Bryan. This was all set up last week. Roman Reigns had Jey Uso brutally attack Daniel Bryan after their match. And so Bryan is now going to say, hey, it's all Roman's fault. You wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for Roman. He doesn't need to be acting like this. He doesn't need to be treating people like this. I may need to put an end to this. I may need to try and take him down a peg. But in the end, I think Roman's just going to destroy Daniel Bryan. So I think that's where that's at. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Remember, if you missed any of this live stream or any of our previous live streams, you can catch those on our YouTube, youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. You can also follow us on other social media platforms like Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. With that, we will be live again tomorrow night, giving you all the news and recaps and breakdowns of AEW Full Gear. So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow night for Full Gear. Have a good night, and I'll see you then.